Alright, our last video for this review is all about scientific notation. Okay, so 42 asks you to take numbers and write them in scientific notation. And of course, scientific notation is n times 10 to the m, where n has to be a number where there is one digit to the left of the decimal, and m has to be an integer. If it's a very small number, m is negative. If it's a large number, so if it's smaller than 1, it's negative. If it's larger than 1, it's positive. Okay, so there's really only two parts to this. I have to figure out where the decimal goes. So for A, I know the decimal has to go right here. So this is going to be 3.94 times 10 to some number. This is a much smaller than 1, so I know my exponent is going to be negative. And now I just count how many places I've moved the decimal. From here I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's 3.94 times 10 to the negative 13. Okay, here I want my decimal right here, so there is one digit to the left. So this is going to be 2.521 times 10 to some power. This number is much larger than 1, so I just have to figure out how many places I moved it, and it's going to be positive. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 to the 9th. Okay, write each as a number in decimal notation. That just means a number, no scientific notation. Okay, so if I have 10 to the 11th, that means it's going to be a big number. That means I'm going to take my decimal and move it to the right. So I'm going to have 4.892. And now I'm going to take this decimal and move it 11 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I have to fill in all of these with zeros. Now if I want to clean it up and write it real pretty, let's see, that would be, I'd have a comma here, I'd have a comma here, I'd have a comma here. So this would be 489, I guess that's billion, 200 million. Okay, 2.19 times 10 to the negative 7. All right, negative 7 means it's a small number, which means I'm going to move my 0 to the, move my decimal to the left. So I'm going to start over here with 2.19. Now I'm going to take my decimal and move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places to the left. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to fill in. So if I wanted to clean that up, it's going to be 0.123456219 is my answer. Okay, if I want to perform these operations, I write my answer then in scientific notation. All right, if I'm multiplying, I am just going to use my commutative property, and I'm going to write this as 8.2 times 2.8 times 10 to the negative 6 times 10 to the negative 4. Okay, so if I do 8.2 times 2.8, this gives me 22.96. And if I add my exponents, negative 6 plus negative 4 gives me 10 to the negative 10. But I'm not done yet. I have to take this. It is not in scientific notation. This is larger than 1, so I'm going to move the decimal over here. So this becomes 2.296 times 10 to the first times 10 to the negative 10. And if I have 1 plus negative 10, my final answer is 2.296 times 10 to the negative 9. Okay, on part B, I'm going to write this as 1.6 times 3.1 times 10 to the 12th times 10 to the negative 8. 1.6 times 3.1 is 4.96. Okay, this is good news. This is already in scientific notation. There's one digit to the left. If I add my exponents here, 12 plus negative 8, that gives me 10 to the 4th, and I'm done. I don't have to do anything else to that. Okay, if I'm dividing, I am going to take 7.37 divided by 1.1 times 10 to the negative 3 divided by 10 to the negative 5. So 7.37 divided by 1.1 gives me 6.7. Okay, good news. And that gives me 10 to the negative 3 minus negative 5. So this gives me 6.7 times 10 to the negative 3 plus 5, which becomes 6.7 times 10 to the second. Okay, our last one here, same process. 1.978 divided by 2.3 times 10 to the negative 5 over 10 to the 11th. So 1.978 divided by 2.3, this gives me 0.86. Okay. Not in scientific notation, so I'm going to have to play with that. Times 10 to the negative 5 minus 11. So 0.86 times 10 to the negative 16. Okay, here I'm going to have to take this and move it. This is smaller than 1, so I'm going to have to move it one place, which means this becomes 8.6 times 10 to the negative 1 times 10 to the negative 16, which gives me finally 8.6 when I add these exponents times 10 to the negative 17. Okay. Be sure and let me know if you have any questions, and if not, I will see you on test day.